Hello everyone, it's Commend here, long time no see. Main channel video is coming soon, but I thought today we should do a little cheeky tier list, VCT 2025. Let's get it going. Not going to be too much thought going in here, just teams I want to see do well, teams I think are going to do well, all that good stuff. Okay, let's do it. 2-game. It's hard to be optimistic about this team. I want to be, but without Spike, it's not looking good. And also, it's kind of, they had a good run in Ascension, a bit like the Gentlemate's curse of 2023. But, of course, this is a new team. I don't know. I think they could do okay. But I'm going to go C tier. I think maybe once they get Spike back in, they could get a few wins in the season. But it's not going to be amazing. Okay, 100 Thieves. They got the same roster pretty much as last time. But Bangs moved to Sentinels. They now got Xander, who a lot of people said is really good. I don't know. I didn't watch too much Tier 2 last year. It's just too many games, man. Too many games. But I think this roster is going to be good. Don't forget, they won Stage 1. They got top 4 in Shanghai. I know they kind of fell off, but I do believe in Boostio. I think he's a good IGL. I think they're going to do quite well. I'm going to put them in A tier, but I don't think they're going to be good from the start. I think they're only going to be good from, midway into the year. They might have a similar stage run as they did last year. Cloud9, yeah, they're going to not be good at the start of the year, right? I mean, how can you be? You've only had like 2 weeks or something, or a month to practice with Net. Look, and I love Net. You guys know me, big guard fan. I love Net, but I just don't see this Cloud9 team ever being great. This is the problem. The management's messing them around way too much. I just don't ever see it. And so I'm going to have to put them in C. Also, the competition this year in Americas is crazy high. So, okay, EG. I'm going to go with a solid B tier. I want to say that Ye is going to have the greatest comeback of all time and be the best player in the world again. Very likely, probably not going to happen. But I think he's got a solid core here that, he can do well with them if they set him up in the right way. And I think Potter will think about how she can do that and how the team can set EA up to succeed. So I'm going to put him in B. I think they could do quite well. Furia, they've done well in a few off-season events. I'm done believing in this team. I'm done. Because they never do well. I don't know what it is. They managed to get fluke wins over 100 Thieves last season. That was an amazing moment, but they never are consistent. Even when you think, they're going to be good, they're never good in the long term. I'd love to see this team do well, but I just don't see it happening. G2, I really like G2 this season. I feel like it's hard not to. They did do really well last season. And I love Jorgamo. And I love my boys from the guard. But I don't think they're going to do as well as people think they are this season. I just don't see... I don't know. There's just something off about this team at the moment with Jorgamo in. I don't know if his playstyle suits the other G2 guys. We'll have to see. I would love to see them do well, but something is telling me maybe not. Okay, crew. I'm going to go with... I was going to put them under EG because I have high expectations, or I have high wants for EG, for how good they're going to be. But I think I'm going to have to put crew in the A tier as well. I really do think that this team is going to be underestimated. I know they always make champions, that's the meme, but seriously, they have some insane talents on this team, and they're the only real Latin American team left, so I would love to see them do well. I think Mazzino coming back from a really good stint on Lev is going to be good for the team. He's back in his home, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Leviathan, I don't think they're going to do that well this season. I'm like a kind of a known... not a fan of super teams. I just don't think the vibe is right on this team. You have a Latin American team. They only have one Latin American player who is incredible. But I don't know. It just feels... something feels off here. I really like Com. I really like King. Demon 1, he could come back and be an incredible player. And they'll probably be a good team. But I think in the high pressure moments, I don't know if they'll have that chemistry that some of the other teams in this league might have. Okay, Loud. I'm going to go in D tier. I'm going to put them above Furia. This is not Brazil bias, I promise you. But Loud, they weren't great last season, and they had Sadak and Les and Pankada. This season they only have Pankada and new IGL. I just don't think it has the same vibes as Loud always does, and that kind of worries me. So I'm putting them in D tier. I don't think they're going to do great this season. But the Brazilian team I do think is going to do well is MIBR. Now, I kind of agree with the whole aspas. Sometimes looks like he's playing for stats, but you can't deny how good this guy is. He has been, you think of 2021, the year of, okay, maybe not 2021, but 2022, you think about the year of Yay, you think Demon 1 2023, Kang maybe 2024, or Texture, but aspas has been there every season. This guy is consistent. He's putting together his own team. He finally gets to play with Nozwa. I think it could be really good for an organization that maybe hasn't had the best results, in the league. So yeah, I'm happy with MIBR going to do quite well this season. Another team I think is going to do quite well this season is NRG. I'm not an off-season guy. I just think Verno is crazy. Even before, what he was pulling off in this off-season on Oxygen, he was crazy good. I'm a big believer in this guy. And Marder, consistent duelist. FNS, you can't, I was a bit of an Optic hater because I was a Guard fan back in the day, but actually FNS is an incredible IGL. Som brings the vibes. I think this team is going to do well this season, and I wouldn't surprise me if they won an international event. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put Sen and 100 Thieves right next to each other, just how they always have been. Sentinels, I'm going for A here. This might surprise a few people because obviously they made 2 changes from the team that won a Masters last year. I just think Tens is incredible. Well, that year he was, 2024, he was one of the best players in the world in my opinion. And I think this team just they lost a lot. This is going to sound stupid. They lost a lot of aura. It sounds stupid, but I think they lost quite a lot with Tens going, not just in terms of vibes he was incredible. And Bang is really good, but I don't know if he'll have the same, if he'll just click the same. And with this whole role swapping thing in the off season, I don't love it. I think Narrate should be on Initiator. He's an incredible fragger when he has the space to do it. And so Sentinels are going in A tier. And that is that's America's done. Okay. China. I'm going to admit I don't know as much about China. Apart from the top teams, I know a lot about those, but in terms of the bottom teams of China, I haven't heard too much about. But I think, I say it should be fairly obvious, but I don't know if it will be. Obviously, EDG just won champs. You have to put... Sorry, I'm not going in order anymore for some reason. EDG just won champs. You have to put them in S tier, don't you? Don't you? They just won champions. Even if you think they're not going to do well this season, I think it's a bit of a disservice not to put them in the S tier. Okay, I will actually go back now. All Gamers, I don't know much about them to be honest, but haven't heard anything, which makes me feel like they're not going to be great. They're not going to, break any records. BLG, I've heard some good things. I've seen a few good off-season performances, and I think they could return to their original form that we saw, Champs 2023 beating NRG. Who knows? If that happened again, would be crazy. DRG, I've always liked Vikashu and Luke on the team, but I just don't think they really have the power to kind of bring it home. I do just want to mention that this tier list is kind of a in-region tier list, so I'm not necessarily saying that BLG are going to be as good as 100 Thieves or Sen, but just in terms of in China, this is where I think they're going to be in comparison with the other Chinese teams. I'll go with DRG and B. FPX, I would say I don't think they're going to be as good this year. I don't know. They've lost Lysor. Not great. Lysor's a really good fragger. I just don't think the vibes are there. But they still have good players, so I'm willing to stick with B tier. JDG, a team I thought would always be quite good. I thought they were going to come into the first season of the league looking good, but it just never really happened. Picked up that rare Atom Core and it just never clicked. But I think they could be quite good this season. I don't think they'll be A tier though. I think top of B tier will suit. Nova is just not inspiring, is it? I just don't see them really doing anything. Tech. Yeah, this is Tech, isn't it? Again, I mean, all these moves that are shuffling around the bottom of China, I just am not inspired by them. But I think they'll sit around this middle pack with all of the other black and red teams. Trace, they look really good at Champions. I think they'll be sat around the top of China again. But I don't know if they'll achieve, beating the third place team eventually, as it was with Lev in the group stage of champs. That was pretty crazy. Tyloo, I've heard some good things about. Wait, no, I've heard good things about Tech. Tyloo, I don't know, Chief. Honestly, I don't know. Wolves, I've heard amazing things about. This is going to look like a meme. It kind of is a meme. I'm not a Wolves fan in football, but I'm a Wolves fan in China. I think it's jokes, but they're putting together a really solid team. I actually think it could be really good this year. They had a good team last year, just didn't quite work out. They played EGG quite a few times in pivotal moments. And so I think with the few additions they've made, it could be really good. XLG, Ascension team. I always think Ascension teams will do quite well in China just because it's a newer league. And so a lot of the tier 2 talents that won't have been discovered could do quite well. Do I think they'll be here though? Yeah, let's go for it. Why not? That's what I'm thinking with China anyway. I haven't put anyone in D. I'm going to put Nova in D. It just feels right, I think. I think XLG could do well, but I honestly not too informed. So this is kind of a, whatever kind of thing. Okay. EMEA. Apex. We still don't know who their 5th player is, but I'm excited about seeing Fluorescent at VCT. I think it's really, really cool to have the first Game Changers player. It's just a huge moment, isn't it? That being said, how well will they do? I'm not entirely sure, but I want to give them a little bit of hope, put them in B tier. I think it'll be cool to see them do well, and some of the returning players from previous tier 1 rosters. I think they're a good, solid core, and we'll see who their 5th player is, to be fair. But that's a bit of a out there prediction. BBL, I don't see this team gelling at all. I'm going to be so real. I really like a lot of the players. I love Yampy, but I just don't see it. I just think culturally it just won't, the team culture won't manifest itself in a way that they want it to. But we'll see. We always know Turkey can just pull out some crazy results when they want to, so we'll see. Fnatic, Crashies, Kayak is kind of, it's not, losing Leo and Durka. Obviously, they didn't lose Leo necessarily, but there's no indication that he's going to be coming back in anytime soon. I like Crashies, I like Kayak, but they're just not on the same level. They are just not on the same level, and so they're not an S tier team for me anymore. But they're still going to be really good. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that though. Yeah, no. I'm going to have to. They're going in S, but I don't necessarily believe in it in the same way. But we'll see. Sorry about that. Had to take a short break to catch the traitors. If you know, you know. Okay, let's continue. Giant X. They have a pretty decent team. I've heard good things about Westside. I like Cloud. I like Runner. I like what they're cooking up. Purpo, I like him as well. Do I think it will click this season? Not hugely. I think it will be okay, but, I think it will be fine. And for that reason, they're going in B. Okay, Karmine Corps. I know people have their doubts about this team, but I actually quite like them. So, I'm going to say they're going to do quite well. I'm going to go with an A tier. I want to see them at Champs Paris. I want to see them do well this year. We'll see, but I have full trust in Sadak and Eng as well, so I'm looking forward to it. Koi, another team I don't care about. I don't see why I would care about this team unless I was Spanish. And that means I just don't care. I don't care, which is sad, but it's the truth. M8. What are M8 doing this season? I've literally forgotten about this team. Oh, yeah, Zipan. Yeah. No, I don't see it. I don't see it working, to be honest. I just think against some of the other rosters that they're going to be competing against this season, it's just not going to be not going to be up to the same level. Na'Vi, I think, will do fine. They've got some good players, solid team. I still believe in Shao, but I think without Sugetsu, those two are the real power duo that made Na'Vi work so well, or at least FPX. So I think without Sugetsu will be difficult, but I think they'll be fine. Angel's a good IGL. He always comes up with some decent ideas, so yeah, it'll be fine. Heretics, probably no surprise. They're going to be going in S. I would put them above Fnatic as well. I just think, how can you really doubt this team? Second in 2 grand finals in a row. Well, 2 international grand finals in a row. Second in 4 grand finals in a row. Is that right? Including regional stages. They were one of the only super consistent teams all year. They still have young players. They got the same team. I don't know how you can really doubt this team, to be honest. I just think they just need to keep going with what they're doing, and hopefully the meta suits them. I think they'll be fine. Liquid, it's not inspiring me, to be honest. I really hope Nats can be freed from where he is at the moment. I really hope he can. I like Liquid as an org, but I just think Nats needs to go to a super team type team to really get the best out of him. And it's not screaming inspiring to me, Na'Vi need to move up here. Sorry, I just realised this. These 3 could go in any order, really. I'm going to go with that. I'm probably going to go with that. Or am I underrating Foot, though? I think I am, aren't I? Yeah, I think I am. I think I've got to go there. Foot have been consistent. So I think you do have to rate them quite highly here. And Vitality, as I said, I'm not a huge fan of the super team narrative, but I think they will be good just because of the caliber of players they have. But I'm going to put them under Karmine Corp. I think Karmine Corp are going to shock people this year, do quite well. I do believe in Sadak. I'm a Sadak believer. Okay, that's EMEA. So we've got Heretics top, Fnatic second, Karmine Corp, Vitality, Foot, Giants, Na'Vi, Apex, BBL, Liquid, Mates, and Koi. I'm happy with that order. I think these 2 could be swapped around. Any of these 3 could be swapped around. But I'm happy with that in general, I'd say. Okay. Pacific, last region. Let's do it. Okay. Boom are coming in a difficult spot, aren't they? Really good run at Ascension. Obviously, they didn't actually win. But, I think they're just going to be quite happy to be here. I don't think they're going to make huge waves, but I don't want to put them in D. I think Pacific is really strong this year overall. And so I think if we're going to have one team at the bottom, it would be Boom. But that's just how it goes, I think. DFM, I'm really excited with this roster and what they've done. But there is a lot of new talent, a lot of rookies, a lot of people who may need to prove themselves first. And I think they're going to have a decent season. They're going to win a few games that will turn a few heads. But I don't think they're going to go crazy that some people might be predicting. So they're going in the B tier for me. DRX. New roster. I don't know. Some of the top teams in Pacific are really, really good this year. And I think by that logic, I think DRX have to be in the B tier. We just haven't seen enough from the players that they've picked up. I think as time goes on, my faith in Marco to carry this team is lessening, although I still think he's great. I don't think he can be the real carry without the chemistry with the other players that he had with players he'd played with for years. So I don't know. We'll see how they do. I think I'm going to make a little bit of a bold prediction and say DFM will just edge it out. But both teams are fairly new players. So yeah, we'll see. G is not inspiring me. I think they've gone for a good strategy with the way they've built their roster in terms of it's a good budget roster. But I just think a lot of the teams in Pacific at the moment are just playing this roster off-season really well. And they've all built good rosters, I would say. I wouldn't say there's a roster in Pacific that I feel like I don't think is going to do well, which is a testament to the region, actually. But G aren't inspiring me, to be honest. On the other hand, Gen G, I don't think you can really... I know people are saying that they might have lost something with Meteor, and I definitely think they have, but I don't think we should underestimate how good Foxy 9 actually can be. And I'm a big Yeoman believer. I think there is a reason why Lakia isn't on a tier 1 team again this year. And although I think his utility, yeah, you can say that did contribute to their good results, but I think if you'd have had another initiator player in there, that probably would have been okay. And I think Yeoman could be really good this year. So, and he'll just bring more strats. I mean, he's been at IGL. I assume Munchkin's still IGLing full time, but I just think having another voice with more ideas can only help a team who won a Masters event and got second at the other one. So yeah, they were the most successful team of the year going by finishes. So I don't think you can really doubt them. Nongshim Red Force, they're going to be my first A-tier team. I really enjoyed watching them in Ascension. I think the whole storyline is great. They haven't lost since January, since they brought in Persia. And young Korean players just looking like that, going out there, having a good time. And they just rolled everyone in Ascension. So it is hard to know. But I think just the way they play, obviously the grand final was close, but if you watched all of Pacific Ascension, you would have seen that they were just on a different level. And I think they will slot right into the tier one level. I think Danby's great. I think Margaret is seriously good as well. I just get good vibes from the team. I do miss that old logo though. I do miss Simpreza. Paper X. I kind of think Paper X are going to be good this year. I'm not putting them above Gen G because I just can't. I think if you're putting them top of a region, you're saying that they have a proper chance to win an international event. And of course, Paper X always do have that chance, but we just haven't seen it for ages. Since Champs 2023, I just haven't believed. Even Madrid, obviously they came third, but I don't think they were ever going to win that event. And I think they need to get their rhythm back with Jing. I know they've started playing more meta stuff. I don't know if it will fit them. I hope it does, because obviously we all love to see Paper X winning. But we will see. RRQ, I'm not that bothered, to be honest. I just think it's where interesting players like Monye and Jemkin just haven't really done much. I don't know why. I just feel like I see players go there. I think, yeah, their roster's pretty good, but then they just don't pull it through. And that's, kind of upsetting. So I don't think they're going to break past this B-tier. I say in their B-tier teams, I still think DRX and DFM will be really good, but I don't think RRQ will. They'll probably get some good wins, some good results, like they do most years, but I don't think they're going to go to an international. So they're in the C-tier for me. T1, I think they're going to be another super team that doesn't quite live up to expectations. I know Meteor's great. I do think really highly of Buzz, but I just think I don't get good vibes. Munchkin was already there before and it didn't work, and then they were always just kind of floating around the international group stage level because the Pacific teams hadn't leveled up, but I think they will have leveled up. T1 will be good just by the caliber of players, but again with Vitality, I just don't think, I just don't see it being as good as people think it will be. And so it's Stacks IGLing. I just think we saw with NRG last year how important IGLs were, and seeing Stacks go back to IGLing doesn't fill me with happiness, because I think he's a great rifler when he's not having to think about that other kind of stuff. So yeah, Talon, Primi is great. Other than Primi, I don't think this roster will make it to an international event. Obviously they made it to Champs off the back of a single win by bringing in a new player in a single elim bracket and then immediately lost both games. So I think Primi's good, but he can't carry an entire team, and I don't think they'll make it to another international event this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if Primi again shows great performance, but the team just doesn't do enough to get to that upper level. Secret, they always do well, but they're never really inspiring me. I think I'm going to put them in the B tier here, just because I think they have some great players. Envy is great. Jeremy can be great. I've always liked Jesse Vash, but I just think there's a curse on the man. They can't get to an international event. And I think if they did get there, they wouldn't necessarily show an incredible performance. So I just can't trust them to really, I can't trust them to show a great performance this year, like push to that next level, because there are so many good teams in Pacific. And I think those top 4 teams and even those top 6 teams will all be the ones challenging for the international events, and Secret probably won't see into that, which is sad because they're a good team, but they're not as good as some of the other teams in the region, in my opinion. And last but not least, Zeta. I want Zeta to be great, but I don't think they will be. The moves they're making, when you look at what DFM's done with their roster, I'm just more excited about that. I know Zeta have beaten DFM in the off-season, but I don't think that says a whole lot. And I was super excited about Zeta last season, and they kind of let me down. So, yeah, that is what I'm thinking with Zeta. So I haven't put an insane amount of thought into this, but that's my Pacific. 1 Genji, 2 Paper X, 3 Nongshim, 4 T1, 5 DFM, 6 DRX, 7 Secret, 8 RRQ, 9 Talon, 10 Zeta, 11 GE, and 12 Boom. If you're a fan of any of these teams, I hope your team does excellently well. This is just what I'm thinking the year will pan out like, and that is not the inter-regional tier list. Each region is separated in this tier list, so I'm just going to say that one again if anybody missed it. I don't necessarily think Trace will be as good as G2, but I think Trace will be the 3rd best team in China, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you enjoy the video on the main channel that will be releasing soon. Subscribe to this channel, want to try and get to 1,000 subscribers, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace.